Comes to Bishop. Bishop does well. Steps around a would-be tackler. Kicks over. Free ball. And it's a massive kick. It's a goal. Swish, swish, swish.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Pears on a Pod. Thank you very much, firstly, for the support on the Treaders Pod just last week. It's been absolutely mental to see everyone's comments and appreciation for that podcast. This week, we've gone and gotten someone better, so Treaders will love that. Before I do mention our great guest this time around, I do have to introduce my co-host, which unfortunately is Jack Hudson again.
Cheers, mate. Looking forward. We're back on a weekly schedule, which is nice, Ant. So back to like the first season, but yeah, very excited for this one.
Yeah, I don't think we'll last that long for the weeklies, but we'll see how we go. This time around, though, we've got someone pretty special. He was obviously in the 2004 premiership. He was our 54th player to appear, 36th most games on the list, and 137th for most goals. I speak of the great number 19, Matthew Bishop. Bish, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, guys. Good to see you both.
Cheers, Bish. Well, we'd like to start with what have you been doing since you hung the boots up, mate?
I hang around in Adelaide for a while, just working at the footy club. Did a bit of stuff down there, and then I came back to Melbourne. Did a bit of footy admin in Melbourne, and then been doing real estate for the last 7 years now. So selling houses where I grew up, and I really enjoy it back home and back in the local community. But I do miss Adelaide. It's a great place to live, and got some great memories over there, that's for sure.
Now, Bish, I've done a bit of research here. Thanks to the Professionals website, 4.9 rating as an agent. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've got some great clients. So yeah, it's a good community that I work in. So I really enjoy the real estate side of things. I've always had a thing for it. And while I was doing some footy work in Melbourne at the Eastern Footy League, I did a bit of work experience at the guys' place where I work now, and really enjoyed it. And I just said to them, I'll do this one day. And then I just woke up one morning and thought, all right, today's the day. So off we go. So yeah, really enjoying it. Good thing to do.
We'll go back to the start of your career, Bish. Rookie list at Melbourne. What was it like at the D's?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, they were pretty lucky. I think it was the first year they had the rookie draft. So, and geez, Melbourne did really well out of that rookie draft. I think they picked 6 guys, and five of them went on to play at least 150 plus games. So, guys like Russell Robertson, James McDonald, Daniel Ward. There's a couple of others. Nathan Bassett was on that as well in that group. So, yeah, had a really good group of players that they picked in that rookie draft. So, had a lot of success there. Was there at Melbourne for 3 years. Really enjoyed it. Learned a lot from those guys, but opportunity came to come to Port, and I'm glad I did come over. That was fantastic.
Bish, ironically, your first game was against Port Adelaide.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
quite ironic. Do you remember who your opponent was that day?
I think it might have been. I rotated around a little bit, but it was a bit of Brett Chalmers, I think, and I probably rocked up onto Lady at some stage too. Might have had a run around on Treaders too, actually. Yeah, it's just a memory. Great memory. I mean, your first game was unbelievable. Just running out in the MCG and all that sort of thing. And it's just funny that I played 18 games at Melbourne. 4 of those were against Port Adelaide, so maybe it was just meant to be.
3-1 record too against them. So we're pretty good. Knew how to play them.
Yeah, broke my arm too in one of those games, so that wasn't too good.
You kicked a few snags though, Melbourne. Like what, 4? Well, as a defender, that's not bad. Ant can vouch for that. But do you remember many of them? And did you have a favourite?
Gee, you got me now. I started off as a forward, so I got recruited to Melbourne as a forward. Played forward at Box Hill when they recruited me. So started off down there, and then I remember I think it might have been in my second year, and we just went up to Sydney to play a twos game, and the coach thought, "Oh, well, I'll put you down back," and just went from there and did pretty well. And yeah, that was it. Just stay down back mostly after that. But no real goals come to mind though in regards to highlights. So I wasn't kicking them from boundaries or anything like that. That's for sure. But it's always good to put one through when you're down there. But I wouldn't even kick double figures in my career, I don't think. So I enjoyed it when I got one.
And defenders, we'd we appreciate the goals we kick. That's about it. After that,
Exactly right. Yeah,
our
celebrate
goals
hard.
mean more.
You don't know when the next one's coming.
I'm still waiting. Talk us through, obviously, at the end of '99, coming through, then to end up at Port Adelaide in 2000. What was that like for you in terms of, was there a bit of uncertainty about the continuing of the career? Or was it always going to be Port Adelaide based?
Well, I had a year left at Melbourne on my contract, and there's a pretty big trade happening at the time. So I think Melbourne wanted to get a midfielder in, and I'd spoken with Port, and it was a bit of a whirlwind because one day Melbourne are saying, "Oh no, you're not going anywhere," and then the next day, "Oh, hang on a second, this is happening. This is happening. Would you mind talking to Port Adelaide?" And then Choco came over with Rob Snowden, caught up with them in the offices in Baldwin. Had a really good chat with those guys, and and they put a contract in front of me, and geez, I'm glad I accepted it because it was a fantastic move. Really enjoyed my time in Adelaide. I didn't really know anyone in Adelaide at the time. But I was pretty lucky because I was a little bit more older than some of these kids that come over from interstate. So I was about 24 at the time, so a little bit more mature. But love my experience at Port Adelaide. But that whole situation where you're not sure where you're going to be playing next year, and then 1 minute you're at Melbourne, next minute you might be here, next minute you're talking to this mob. So it was a bit of a whirlwind, but really enjoyed it, and eventually got to Port Adelaide where I love my time.
What do you remember that first year? Obviously, not 2000, so the club didn't go all too well. But yeah, what do you remember of it?
Yeah, I remember my first year at the club. I sort of found a while to find my feet. We had some really good defenders in the side, actually, like with Paco and Meaty and those sort of guys established as key backs in the side. And I learned a lot off those guys too, really experienced players. And I was pretty lucky to have those sort of guys as mentors at the time. Learn the ropes off them, and then eventually when my opportunities came up, I grabbed one eventually. But it was hard yards that first year, in and out of the side. Played a lot of footy down at South Adelaide, but I learned a lot, and my experiences were really good.
Obviously, as well, I think the D's obviously made the grand final that year against the Bombers. Were you thinking if they put me down back that day, it could have been a different story?
No, I wouldn't say that publicly, but
Privately, maybe.
No, they had a really good year actually. So they just got pants in that grand final, but unfortunately. But they had a really good year. That was a really exciting final series that they had. But geez, Essendon were really good that year, weren't they? So would they lose one game? So tough yards just trying to beat them that year.
And you're wearing the number 4 in that year, and then Gav sort of took it off you. What happened there?
Well, Gavin was captain the first year, so he was wearing the number 1. And then when they gave the captaincy to Matty, Gavin obviously wasn't wearing number 1 anymore. So number 4 was sitting there on my back, and he just wandered over and just asked if I don't mind if he could have it. And I thought, well, who am I to tell Gavin Wangan he can't wear number 4? So rest of history. I'm happy wearing number 19. It was it's terrific. 4 for 1 year.
Yeah, 19 was my number when I played, so very happy with that. But yeah, so it's a bit different from Treaders last week, saying Pears had to have a full down meeting for him to get his 16 back.
Is that right? Oh,
yeah.
My conversation with Gavin probably lasted about 5 seconds.
So
mind if I wear the jumper bish? Yeah, no worries, mate. Go for it.
Was it? Did that process? Were they just like, all right, well, 19's available? Or did you get to choose 19?
Good question. I don't remember. I think it was just available. I think they probably said, look, these are the numbers that are available. What do you like? And I thought, well, 19. I like that one. So, I'm glad I took it.
Defender's number.
I think Donnie Dickey wore that before me.
Yes.
So, he's a great man, Donnie. So, had big shoes to fill.
Well, moving to 01, and geez, we actually hit the straps pretty well. And you only played half the year. So injury, was it the start of the year?
01. You're getting my memory now.
This is what we
I
do.
think
We
I
just test
still,
everyone's memory out.
I still played a fair bit of footy down at South Adelaide that year. I was still trying to find my feet a little bit. Those sort of senior guys still there. And Darryl Waken came that year as well. So, he was a very established player, a very good player. So I was still trying to find my spot in the team, to be honest. And then I think from about 02 onwards, I was pretty much entrenched in the team. But 2000 and 2001, I was probably in and out of the side most of the year, so I didn't really get any real stability there. But I enjoyed my time, and South Adelaide was some good times down there too.
You obviously established yourself at the back end of the year, and then going into the final series. For yourself, obviously being in Adelaide, two-team town, first final series for Port at home. What was that like for you playing finals for Port Adelaide, especially in that first year in 01, especially as well since we went out in straight sets?
Yeah. It was really exciting. Like, I grew up obviously loving footy like everyone does. And I remember going to a lot of finals with my dad, and it's just a totally different environment. And so to actually be experiencing that was sensational. And I was just starting to find my feet in the team and get in the side. And we had some, who did we play that year? Was it Brisbane and Hawthorn, I think it was. Yeah. So, that Hawthorn game I think was pretty close from memory. I think Brisbane got us up there pretty well. But it was a really good experience. And it was good for the group to come together. I think they made the finals in 99 before I got there. Played one final against North Melbourne. And, it was a pretty young group still at that stage too. Like, what have we been in the competition? 4 years, 5 years, something like that. So a lot of those young guys getting that experience again set us up for the following years.
So 2002, obviously you played full season. How good was that for your confidence to sort of have that trust? And did Choco say to you in the preseason that this is your spot and you're not going anywhere, or was there still the pressure from behind?
Oh, there was always pressure. That was the good thing about the side, because we had so many good players that there's always pressure to hold your spot. So, and that made us pretty successful, I think, because you knew if you had a couple of bad games that you'd be out of the side. But I sort of, that third year, had a really good preseason that year. Dean Bailey came on board as the defensive coach, and he was fantastic for me. And so I sort of just found my feet. And I think Dimmer came to the club that year too. So he was really good to play with, really experienced guy and a good mentor. So having those sort of two guys on board as well gave me a lot of confidence. And getting into the side every week was always really good. And we're winning too. So it was fantastic.
You mentioned Dean Bailey. Over the course of your career, how important, and I've never really actually asked this question to a defender, but how important was your relationship with a defensive coach during that time?
Oh, yeah, it was really important. Bales was really good for me. We catch up every Tuesday and go through all my edits from the weekend. And he'd pick out things that you would even think of, and he was really good as a mentor. He's very good influence, gave you the stern feedback when you needed it, but at the same time, he sort of encouraged you to take the game on. And Choco was always really good like that too. He was always, play to your strengths, work on your weaknesses, but still never lose your strengths. So, a bit of my stuff that he'd like me to do is take the game on and, tuck the ball under the arms, have a bit of a run and things like that, and just get the flow of the game going. So those sort of two guys were really good for me, and just building my confidence and just making sure that, if things weren't going well, they sort of keep up and about and keep going and push through it.
And we're going to obviously 2003, and after the final series, we fell apart. Like what was it sort of like in that season? Like, was there a bit of a monkey on the back that you thought, and then going to the finals?
In 03?
Yeah.
Yeah, 03, that was shattering in the way we finished. Because who did we lose to in that prelim? Was it Collingwood that year? I think it was Collingwood.
Collingwood 03.
Yeah, Collingwood 03 prelim. Yeah, so we got rolled by Sydney in that first week, and that was really shattering because we were really up and about, we were ready to go, but they just played too good on the day, unfortunately, and you were able to get Essendon. I think we beat Essendon the year before as well in the semi. So and then Collingwood at the MCG, 90,000 people. It was a great experience, but bloody what a panting that was. So that was really shattering that year because we finished top of the ladder 2 years in a row, and so we had a really good camp at the end of 03. We went to New Zealand and really set us up for a bit of home truths told and stuff like that, and really gelled the group and got us up and about for 2004, which was, geez, thank God we won it that year.
So you mentioned those home truths that you sort of deal with. Like, what sort of stuff would you say to a teammate? Like challenging the way they play? Is it challenging the way they're a teammate? Like, what sort of stuff? Because it'd be pretty intense.
Oh yeah, but it's a pretty brutal industry, footy. So you need to have a bit of a thick skin too. I mean, you can't just swan around just thinking everything's all rosy when you've finished top of the ladder 2 years in a row, and you've been bundled out of finals, not even made the grand final. So, we had some good chats as a group and as teammates and as coaches, etc. And it was a real gelling experience, that New Zealand camp, and it really brought us together. Like, there was a real team ethos moving on from that, and and rest is history, really. I mean, it set us up for a really good 2004, and we got over the line. It's fantastic.
Preseason day one, I'm pretty sure the story goes Eminem "Lose Yourself" was played, and that was the mantra for the whole entire 2004 season. True or false?
Oh, geez. Whoever said that's got a really good memory, because I do remember that song. Great song. And that's probably the case. Yeah, we have a lot of those meetings where those pump up sort of songs and things like that. And so it probably did happen. Yeah, I'll go along with it.
What do you remember the most? Obviously, taking the finals aside, what do you remember the most from 04? And what was probably the game that you thought, yeah, we can do this year?
Geez, that's a good question. Was that the year? Correct me if I'm wrong, boys. We had a really good game against West Coast one day when they were up and about. And I don't know if it was 04, but it was just an unbelievable game where everything seemed to go right. And it was in a home and away game. I think Peter Burgoyne played really well that day from memory. It was a night game. I don't know what year it was. It might not have been 04, but that's the sort of game that really springs to mind that thought, shit, we're a bloody good side. So, that's probably the standout game. I just don't remember what year it was.
It might have been the round 2 game. It was in Perth at night. I reckon it might have been that round 2 game, because I remember that. It was nuts.
Yeah. I remember just playing really well against West Coast, where everything just came together. And we got some great memories that year. I mean, we dropped 4 games for the year, so a lot of really good games. Geez, we got some really a couple of towel ups too, I think, from Essendon and North Melbourne too. But it was a fantastic year and a really good experience.
Leading into the finals, obviously we had a win against Collingwood, and then a win against the Crows in the showdown. Now, obviously, you see a bye between the last round and the finals. Back in your day, it was obviously straight into it. That showdown win going into the Geelong game in the qualifying final, what was the sort of talking points between then, especially for defenders? Like, obviously, it was a big final series. What was the sort of the mantra going through there?
Oh, look, like I said before, we had a real team ethos. Do everything together, team first. It was always team first. That was the mantra for the year: team first, team first, team first. No individual stuff. So, we just thought that we've had another good year. There's obviously a lot of pressure on it because we dropped that first final 2 years in a row before then. But just coming into that game against Geelong, we'd been playing well. I think we. Just now that you mentioned that Crows game, I think the week before we might have played Collingwood at the G, and then the week before that was Western Bulldogs in Darwin. So we came from Darwin to Collingwood on a 6-day break, and it's funny you bring up memories and stuff like that. But we were playing against Collingwood, and it was a Friday night, and I don't think they took into account what the traffic would be like in Melbourne on a Friday night. So we rock up to the bus rocked up to the hotel, which is probably usually about 5 minutes from the ground, and ended up taking about 45 minutes, and boys were starting to get a bit antsy on the bus. What's going on? We ended up getting a police escort down the tram line to get us to the ground on time. We were a bit late, but I remember at the time, because no one took into account the Friday night traffic in Melbourne, because we never played Friday night games in Melbourne. So that's a good experience and a good memory. And that probably diverged from your question too. Sorry about that, mate. It just came up to my mind. I thought, oh, geez, I've got to tell that story.
That's what we do here. We uncover the memories.
Yeah. What was the question? It's about bleeding into Geelong. Yeah. So, we had we also had a good meeting. We kept it pretty simple that week. From memory, they used to jazz up the change rooms a little bit, and I think they just thought, right, we're just keeping it simple, keeping it exactly the same as home and away series, and everything was just normal game. But deep down, we all knew there was a lot of pressure on us because we obviously wanted to win that game, and as you say, get the monkey off the back and win that game, and get the week off, which was good.
And then the Saints, obviously, probably the big thing that was lingering was G Train's ton. What was the sort of discussion amongst the defenders in the lead up to that? Is it just absolutely silence him, make sure he doesn't get it, or let him get it out of the way early? Because he certainly did.
We didn't really. I mean, we discussed it every player because they got some really good players. They were a bloody good team, St Kilda. And yeah, I mean, Gehrig's obviously a good player. Rewalt was a very damaging player. He got Milne running around in the forward pocket as well. Geez, we just like to get over the line that night. It was an amazing game. Atmosphere was electric. My dad still talks about it, just the people in the crowd, how crazy it was and how exciting it was. Excuse me, when we got over the line. So yeah, that was a terrific experience. Yeah, but that Gehrig thing in that first quarter, that was yeah, he was playing really well, and probably that momentum shifted a little bit when everyone ran out on the ground for ages. But no, it was a terrific game and set us up for the next week.
Obviously, just before we get on to the big one, that whole thing with the obviously G-Train and having everyone on the ground, where were you in that?
Not near him.
That's Wakes' problem.
I don't know. Geez, I don't know. Well, I think we had a plan. I think the plan was just get off the ground. I think, and just stick together or something along those lines. No one really expected the whole crowd to go crazy like they did for that period of time. But yeah, it was a funny moment because he was only early in the game when he got the 100. So, but I think we sort of started to find our feet a little bit after that. We were a bit overwhelmed at the start and then played well after that.
Was it the perfect reset that you needed? Because I'm pretty sure Robert Wall said on the broadcast that the St Kilda fans have rocks in their heads because they just halted all momentum. What was said during that little mini break? Because it was basically almost a quarter-time break that you got there.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what was said, but I would have been just keep with the process, keep doing what we're doing. We're going to turn it around, and that was always the way. I mean, you never always start fantastically. There's been games during that season, I'm sure, that we didn't start well. So, it doesn't always go your way. So we just we knew we were a good side. We knew we could eat back into their margin that they had. So it was just one of those things that they got to jump on us at the start. Bit of a momentum shift, a bit of a reset for us, which was nice. But I think after that, it was just a cracker of a game, just going back and forward all night. So still remember that Gavin Wanganeen goal in that pocket. That was unbelievable how he kicked that one. Sort of kicked it sideways, it felt like. But yeah, I don't think he had a touch in the first half, and then he just flicked the switch, and then he came on in that second half, and he was just incredible, won the game for us. And then the week after, he kicked 4 in the grand final. So yeah, lucky to have Gavin in the team.
Did Choco give the defenders a bit of a bake in that prelim, saying just take the game on?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, during the week. Yeah, that's good. He got a good memory there. No, that was before the grand final, actually. Yeah. He gave us a bake leading into the grand final because he reckoned we played really boring bullshit footy in the prelim, and we were wearing grey jumpers or something like that at training. So he said, "Oh, yeah, that's the boring colour that you guys are wearing on the weekend. I want you to come out of your shells and take the game on." So that was really the mantra going forward. So yeah, because it was I think in the back line that night, there wasn't that run that we usually have. So he was really into us afterwards to make sure that we did that in the grand final.
And you did, sure.
Yeah, you did, because I was just about to say, we all remember it. Your run in the third quarter in the back pocket, ball nearly bounces out of bounds. I'm pretty sure you took on Tim Notting, if I'm correct. And then obviously setting up, I'm pretty sure it was a Gav goal late in the third quarter, and probably signifies that message, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had it. I know personally, I had it ingrained into my head that week. Just get it and run. So, they're a really good side, Brisbane, and they've got their strengths obviously. And we just thought one of the things that we needed to do was to, really run the ball hard out of their forward line, and it just worked out in the day. So yeah, but everyone was on board. We all did the same thing and just took the game on, and it sort of opened up a little bit. Probably about 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Game just opened up a little bit for us. We got a couple of late goals, and last quarter was sensational. So yeah, it's a great memory.
He's not lying about the taking it on, Ant, because in the prelim had 2 rebound 50s and the grand final had 14. So he definitely took the game on, Mitch.
Yeah. We got the message, that's for sure.
No more greys.
No greys. No, exactly right. Yeah.
Take us through, like you said, the final quarter was just enjoyable. At what point did you know that it was pretty much home and hosed?
I never had. Probably was it Dewey's goal or Kinger's? One of those two. I think I thought we've got this. But it wasn't until very late. It would have been at least 25-minute mark, because you've always got that thought in your head, right? There's 6 goals in it and there's 6 minutes to go. And, the chances of that happening is unbelievable, like low, but you never say never. So we just sort of just very concentrating very hard and just making sure that we were on. And I reckon it was either probably Dewey's goal or King's goal that I thought we'd had it.
Yeah, and then obviously siren goes, celebrations. What was that night like? Because we talk about the presentations. Everyone sees the on-screen stuff. Off-screen, we've heard things that it got a bit rowdy going down Punt Road and such.
It was just a great night all round. I mean, one of my great memories of that experience was just when the players do that circle, like, with the crowd, just do that lap of honour or whatever. And just the supporters, the looks on their faces and the tears rolling down their eyes. And I remember one guy gives me this big hug, and then he grabs me a medal and he puts it in his mouth. He's like, he's biting it. And I'm thinking, shit, don't you dare break that. And, but just the tears, and everyone was just so excited. And then that night, another really good moment that we had was after everyone had left. So we went down the room, celebrated with family and friends, all that sort of thing. And then we all came out as a group onto the ground. And that was really chilling sort of experience, because it was just an empty stadium and it was just the team just out there, just having a moment out in the ground with the cup in the middle. That was really enjoyable. But that whole night in general, was just that whole probably 2 weeks, to be honest. It was fantastic. So we had a good celebration that week in Adelaide, and then we went to Cairns the following week on a footy trip. So it's 2 solid weeks of celebrations. It was fantastic.
The boys just rolled into pre-season just with the sunglasses on, just the caps on, just looking very sheepish.
Yeah. Oh, geez, you got to celebrate them though, don't you, when you win them?
Yeah.
It's bloody hard to win, as we know. So, it was a good moment, really good experience, and Bond will have forever.
But just on the halftime speech, we talked to Brogues last year about Choco's he calls it Choco's finest coaching moment. Gave a halftime speech that was for the ages, apparently. Treaders wasn't listening to it, which
allegedly,
kind of not surprising. Yeah, allegedly. What was that message for you as such? Because we've heard such great things about Choco and obviously his coaching in general, but was that his finest moment, do you think?
Choco's had plenty of fine moments. But I mean, obviously winning that grand final was a great experience for him. You just saw his reaction at the end of the game, how much it meant to him and to all of us, really. He was really good in that lead up to that grand final, just with his messaging. And the beauty of coaching, and you get some really good tactical coaches that know their footy back to front. But the thing with Choco was he knew every player inside and out. Like, he knew what I needed to do to get that guy up and about for each week. And everyone's different, and that's what's so great about footy. But everyone has different personalities, and everyone needs a prod in different ways. Some people need a cuddle, some people need a rev up, all that sort of stuff. And he just knew every player inside out and just what made them get up. And that's why we were such a good side, because we had really good coaching and players.
So what would Choco do to inspire you during the week? Was it rev up, or what was it?
He used to give me a bit of a rev up. Don't worry about that. I didn't mess with me. That's just what he did. He just knew. And at the end of the day, he'd give you this massive cook, and and you knew what he meant by it, because he knew he just wanted to get the best out of you. So, he's a terrific coach, and it's great to see he's still involved in the game. Still, and every club he goes to seems to have success. So there's no what I was going to say. There's no I've lost my words, mate. But,
there's no one like him, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's just a fantastic coach.
This year's obviously 20 years since it's. I'm sure there's a big catch up, and it'll be good to see everyone there. Can you believe it's been 20 years?
Oh, no, I can't. Hasn't that time flown? But it's always good to catch up with the boys. We try and catch up every year. Whoever's in Melbourne during grand final week, we usually catch up on the Thursday before then. This year's a 20-year anniversary, so we'll have a big catch up at the club in Adelaide. So really looking forward to that. I'm not sure when that'll be yet, but it should be fantastic when it happens.
Keeping with the 04 side, and obviously the catch up, who were you probably the closest with out of all the boys?
I think all the backline guys were pretty close. Like we used to gel a lot. And I think that's probably the case across the board with most teams. You sort of have all your meetings together, you do everything together. And the beauty of our side in '04 was that we'd all played footy with each other for a long period of time. So we all knew everyone's strengths and weaknesses. So you can sort of cover for people a little bit better when you know that. So, you know that someone's going to do this. So you're going to cover for them while they do that. And then, you learn all the intricacies of each player. So I think in general, and that's probably the same at most clubs that have success. The line groups stick together quite a bit because, at the end of the day, they're the one that you're going to war with because they're going to be there for you when the chips are down.
100%.
Moving into 2005, 2006, the last couple of years of your time at Port Adelaide on the field, what were those 2 years like? Obviously, the transition from winning the grand final, 05 still making the final series, and then 06, obviously not. What was that latter period for you like?
Yeah, I think '05 we were still pretty good side. We made finals. We played that final against Adelaide where they got us, but we had a really good final in that first one against North Melbourne. We're probably at the stage though, if we didn't win it in '04, we're at that point where we had some players who were at sort of that age bracket where we had a few retire that year. So we're sort of starting to blood some new kids coming in through as well. So it was a bit of a transition period for the club, but we're still a good side. So and there was no reason why we couldn't go on and have further success that year, but it just wasn't meant to be.
What'd you think of Chad Corns plugging up the showdown final as the biggest showdown of them all when that ended up happening?
He loves his showdowns. We all did. That was a great experience, but I don't mind all that sort of stuff. Once you get out there, no one really thinks about that sort of thing. So people like to think that, that's going to use that as ammunition. But once you get out there, you're just concentrating as hard as you can and playing as best as you can. So people say whatever they like during the week. It didn't really affect me too much. But, but it was funny at the time because it got a bit of a rev up. And I think the Crow supporters don't like him at the best of times. So, when he said that, it couldn't have helped, that's for sure.
That North final, actually, just going back to that one, you did snag one. I'm pretty sure it was from outside 50 as well. I'm pretty sure all your goals for Port Adelaide were just about outside 50. There was definitely one against Collingwood, if I'm correct, in 03. That was outside 50 in the training Guernsey. That one in 05, and I think a couple others as well in 02. If I worked out, an average of 51
that one against North
metres.
Melbourne, I remember that one. Ran down there. We were up by heaps at that stage, I think. And I just wanted to kick a goal, to be honest. I just got into that spot, when you're just in that spot where you think, I'm going to have a real chance here, and the ball just got kicked over the top, I think, and then just kick one. So, and when you play down back, as you know, so you just want to get down there as much as you can because you're forever spoiling balls and watching them sail over your head. So to get down and kick one's fantastic.
Oh.
Yeah, look, there's a very high press in that situation. You never go any. There's no lower backs. There's all going to the 50 and just snag one. So good on you, Bish.
You can. Yeah, have a shot.
Well, your defenders had a field day that day. Kinga kicked a couple. Petters kicked 3. Like, what was going on that day? You blokes just went walkabouts.
Was Petters playing forward that time? Petters was a bit of a he played a little bit forward, a bit of back. So, but yeah, it was just all came together that day. It was a really good win. North, we had some really big games against North Melbourne. They were always a tough opponent, but that day we just got them. So you got to take it when you can.
So how about the end of your playing days? What was it sort of like to hang up the boots?
Yeah. My last year, I sort of knew it could be coming. And every player's the same. They just want to try and play for as long as they can because it's such a great job. What other jobs you go down, you're with 40 of your mates, you go there, you're kicking the footy around, getting fit and having a great experience. Don't get me wrong, it's tough. It's a tough thing, industry, but it's a really great experience and a great job. So at the end of '06, I had sort of, I had a few injuries that year and I was starting to slow down a bit. You can just tell when the younger guys are starting to run past you a little bit and you're thinking, oh, geez, I just got to hang on, and you're trying to use your old wily tricks to try and keep them on their toes. But I sort of knew it was coming. So at the end of '06, Choco just basically said, oh, look, well, at the end of the season, he says it's 50-50 whether we were going with you. And probably about 3 weeks later, he said, no, we're not going with you. So, but it was all was all done well. That's just part of it. That's just part of the job. I mean, not many players get to retire.
No.
It's just more a case of your time's up and off you go. Let the next guy come through.
Pretty
Did
sure
you
the
have-
next one was Alapale Carlisle too, actually.
Yeah. Did you have any knocks from any other clubs to have a look at you the off season or?
Not really. No, I did. I spoke to a couple of SANFL clubs,
yeah.
but at the end of the day, I don't know. I just wasn't really interested in playing anymore. I just thought I was a bit banged up at the time, and I thought I need a bit of a break. And I've enjoyed my experience and try and do something else with my life.
Obviously, went off for a couple of years and came back to the club working in a role. How was that working off field compared to on field for Port?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's it's obviously a great club. So I did a bit of accounting work for about 18 months, and then an opportunity came up in footy admin at the club. Really enjoyed it there. It's a different sort of experience. You still get it. It's funny because you still get nervous on game day, like even though you're not even playing. But just that whole thing, like the come on, we got to win today and have a great game and all that sort of thing. So and all the roles that you do with the club, you stay involved and you ride the wave, but at the same time, you're not actually out there. So it's a really different experience, but I really enjoyed it while it lasted.
And
Hello.
I think it's perfect time for Big Brother.
This is Big Brother.
Bish, this is Big Brother segment where we talk about the off-field experiences for Port Adelaide, whether it's on a footy trip or whether a special occasion that you had. Some insight
Wayne knows
into
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Give us a story that might have been a little bit left field that could make us laugh.
All right. The footy trip story?
Yeah, go on.
Go on.
All right. So when was it? Was it 02, 03? We went to Vegas. We went to San Francisco and Vegas on a footy trip. And unfortunately, I came down with a bit of conjunctivitis and I spent about 2 days in bed. So just because I just had to sleep all the time. So I finally arose and Dewey's just yelled out, "Oh, here comes Rip Van Winkle." The bloke who's slept forever. So he's so that stuck for a little bit. Started calling me Rip. Just because I slept for a couple of days on the footy trip when everyone else was out enjoying themselves, and I said, yeah. But that's probably a pretty tame story. But you don't want to give too much away. Yeah.
Who'd you room with on the away trips, Fish?
I was always mixed up a bit. Yeah, I roomed with Chad for a while. I think Dimmer for a while. Oh, geez, you got me now from memory. There was a period there where we had our own rooms, where the older guys got their own rooms. So
Yeah.
Kingers, yeah, Kingers for a while. Yeah, but it was always mixed up. It's it was never set in stone. But yeah, sort of the guys that you sort of hang around with and stuff like that.
Did they have any sort of quirks as sort of roommates? Without stitching them up too much.
Not really. No, I didn't really come across a bad snorer, which would have done my head in. So I probably would have got out of there real quick if that happened. But that's the big one for me. I just can't. I couldn't be there with a snorer just carrying on all night and not getting any sleep before the game. So, nothing too much. It was pretty tame. We're all very professional at Port Adelaide, so it was all go to bed early and get ready for the game.
Yeah, we'll believe you.
Yeah, I was going to say, who did you room with grand final eve?
That was Dimmer. Yep, that was Dimmer. Yeah, so he's a funny man, so he kept me entertained that morning, just cracking jokes and stuff like that. So I was nervous as hell that morning, but he's just got a confidence like no other. So he was just cracking jokes and just having a good time morning of the game. So I'm glad I was room with him because kept me entertained and then still nervous, but it got me ready for the game, that's for sure.
Yeah, he would have calmed you a bit. Obviously, a bloke who's been there, done that, to be cracking jokes on grand final day, you've just been, okay.
That was just him. He could just crack a joke anywhere. It's just unbelievable. I'm sitting there thinking about my opponent and who I'm playing on and what we're doing, and he's just cracking jokes about what's on TV and stuff like
that. Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, Ant, what have you got for random Port merch, eh?
Random Port merch. This is where we showcase some port merch or random stuff that's lying around the house. I'm telling you what, 24 episodes in, I'm starting to realize that I'm not the greatest of collectors, but I've dived in to the book,
Oh,
and I think, what is it, album 2005, footy cards that used to get from the paper. Bish was robbed of a card, by the way.
Oh,
But,
really?
Stiff.
I
yeah,
must have
Bish
bought
was
them
robbed. But I've got just a couple of people in there. You know, I think
Oh, that's
the
classic.
Burgoynes. And
Yeah,
then there's a second page, Treaders. There's
very
such in
good.
there. So forgot I was that used to do that through the paper. So just low key stuff. I think I'm running out of content.
Even Matty got a Guernsey from the 2005 one. He played all of about 60 minutes of 2004. So, geez, Bishy got stitched up hard.
Ah, well, bad luck. Hey, do you want to see my merch? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. What have you got?
All right.
Yeah, go for it.
I've come prepared. All right.
Here
So
we
this
go.
was
Oh,
2001. I think it was the first time we wore the Heritage Guernsey. So we're playing Carlton at Amy. And you probably won't be able to see this too well, but
the bars.
that's all framed up.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's wicked.
That's
Yeah, so we all got that. Players signed it. Yeah, first time we wore the Heritage jumper playing against Carlton in it's about 01. So yeah, good memorabilia. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's bloody wicked. What did it feel like playing in the bars and obviously learning about the background of the club having come from Melbourne?
I mean, I didn't know too much about it when I was coming over, but I mean, I'd seen it. The ABC used to show the SANFL Grand Final every year as a kid, so I used to watch that. I used to remember that there was people everywhere. It's a massive experience, but once you get to the club, you learn about the experiences and the history and the traditions and all that sort of thing. That gets etched into you really quickly. So to wear that jumper was a really great experience, and yeah, fortunately today the boys get to do that more often than we did. But yeah, it's a really good thing to do. And you've got to identify with the traditions and history of the club. And, you know, it's something we should be really proud of because it's really the only suburban team that's come out from interstate to play into the AFL. So, yeah, it's make the most of it.
100%.
Now, Huddo, you
Yep.
finally got the broken Guernsey from what you were going to show in last week's episode.
Oh yeah, last week, Bish, I had a frame and I smashed it, so that was real good. So I was glad the same thing hasn't happened to you. So last week I had my first ever Guernsey that I was bought. So there it is. There it's signed by everyone, heaps of players. We had I think I got heaps of those signatures at a family day where Lee Harding was performing. So it was real. I think it was down at Epsom Park with the Thunderbirds. So bit of a different. And then I've also got some footy cards which were also in the frame, all signed. So we got Chad there, signature Treaders with hair. Back in the day, Sean. So yeah, a few good ones.
Brilliant.
Yeah, but no.
Keep up the good work, guys. That's great.
Appreciate that, Bish. We'll definitely try to do that. But you got to keep up your good work here because it's quick fire questions time, I'd say, Ant.
I was gonna just before we get into quick fire questions, Bish, your thoughts on the Guernsey? Obviously wore quite a few. The Heritage Round one with the bars there, and the one in 04 that you wore against Essendon, the magenta one. That's that Clash Guernsey with the lightning bolt. The 05, 06, I think it was 04, 05, 06. What were your thoughts on that?
I understood why they did that sort of thing, but it wasn't my favourite. But yeah, I didn't mind it. It's geez, anytime you get to put on an AFL jumper and play a game, you can't complain. So, but yeah, it wasn't my favourite. But gee, I really like our new home jumper. I think it's fantastic. You know, what young child came up with that design. But yeah, I really like it. But obviously, we've worn heaps of good jumpers. But yeah, I really like our home one now.
Yeah, imagine that young kid coming up with a jumper and all this been in Guernsey for about 10 years. where your royalties are.
Yeah, too right.
All right, let's do quick fire questions. Bish, this is just they're literally first answers that come to mind. So, what is your favourite TV show?
Oh, jeez. Oh no. Let's go with Survivor.
Oh, like that. Your favourite flavour of potato chip?
Chicken.
Yep. Ooh, like that. I don't like where this is going already, Huddo, by the way. Your go-to karaoke song?
We'll go with Mustang Sally.
Ooh,
nice.
I like that. What was your junior number as a kid?
Probably 18. I think it was 18. Yeah.
One off.
Wayne Carey. I was a big North Melbourne fan.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. What is your go-to Mario Kart character?
Oh, geez. It's been a long time. What's that big... I haven't played that for about 25 years. Is there a big purple walrus-looking thing? Is that...
Big purple. I think that's Grimace, the McDonald's mascot, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll just go with Mario then.
Yeah, nice. What was the big purple dinosaur show?
Barney. Yeah, Barney.
Yeah, Barney. Yeah.
Yeah.
And lastly, the most important. This is probably the most important question you'll ever answer in your entire career. What is your favorite shapes flavor?
Pizza shapes.
Oh. Okay.
All right. That's good. We can deal with that.
The chicken chips has absolutely thrown us off there, Ant.
Did I pass?
Oh,
yeah, no.
You passed that.
Definitely passed.
Huddo's crimpy and I'm barbecue, and no one likes crimpy. Well, the rare ones like crimpy.
You got to be unique.
Yeah.
You don't want everything that's going to be off the shelf. You want the things that are going to be there every time you go to the shops.
Yep, that is true. That's exactly why I do it.
Well, at least you got it right because Gavin Wanganeen said he liked triangles.
Oh.
Yeah, so he went with the shape, not the flavour.
Yeah. Real left field.
Which actually is pizza, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Obscure port player. One last segment before we get into the back end of the potty. Obscure port players is where we just pick a player that randomly played under 100 games for the club. Huddo, you go first.
I've got Big Ruckman. I've got Barnaby French.
Yeah.
Barnaby French. So, yeah, obviously a few games he played up forward, I think, for a bit, kicked a few snags. But, yeah, no, Barnaby French is my obscure port player. So,
You set me up here because he broke my arm on the MCG when I was playing for Melbourne. So, is this some sort of setup?
I did not know that.
Running through the middle of the MCG, playing for Melbourne, and Barney's just come from the side, broke my arm. So thanks for that.
Out of every player that have played less than 100 games for the club, I've gone with a bloke that's broken your arm. That's terrific. Oh, jeez. Okay. who have you got, Pish? Who have you got?
What do you want from me? Oh, gee. Let's go with obscure name. What about Steve Brosnan, the young Magpies boy that came out from Maggie's, kicked a couple of goals, had some really good games actually. Yeah, he was really good value, Brozzy. So he played a couple of good games and yeah, good man.
Yeah,
ooh, that's a really good one.
Very good one. Very good.
Mine's Kane Ackland.
Kane Ackland. Oh, God.
And I'll tell you why, because this week for some reason I was just scouring through YouTube.
He broke Bish's other arm.
Nah.
Yeah, Kane Ackland. I was watching a random Port versus St Kilda game on YouTube, but I don't know why. I just popped up and recommended. And he's playing for St Kilda, so popped in my head that he played for Port as well. So there's just random.
There you go. A few blasts from the past there. Good man.
Very good.
Yep. So this is how our brains work, Bish.
Oh, really, good. It's fun. Yeah, can't be boring. That's good fun.
Huddo, one last question.
Yeah, Bish, I'm sure you've heard all the time, like kids at clinics and stuff like that. Who's your hardest opponent that you played on? But I'm going to throw it a bit differently. Who was the easiest player you ever played on?
Oh, you can't say that. Nah, you can't say that. No, I'm not answering that. No.
Bit different with a few of the other blokes.
Well, that's the thing. Every week you rock up and there's going to, you're going to be upon a good player. So, no, I'm not disrespecting anyone by calling them no good. So, no, it was a great experience. But maybe in juniors there's a few players that you sort of, but not in the AFL. Yeah.
Very straight bat approach, I respect.
Oh, can't. Nice try, anyway.
Yeah. Very nice. Fair. Well, Bish, it's been a pleasure to talk to you on the pod. Thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to celebrating 20 years of the premiership. You're a star that day and every day in the number 19, so we really appreciate your time.
Great to chat.
Cheers, Bish. Appreciate it.
Good on you, mate.